Have you ever heard about Dagon, the idol that fell over? Some people might picture him like a half-fish, half-human creature. It's like those myths about mermaids, even though the word mermaid isn't in the Bible. Did you know the same word dag is used for both Jonah's fish and Dagon? It's a cool connection that shows there's more to the stories than just big sea creatures. You may have seen them in movies, like a horse with a human head or a god. There, the night creature will find a place to rest. The word fellow here does not mean just another one of its kind, but also something that is similar to it. Do you remember Dagon, the idol that fell down when they put it in the same room? That is how Dagon looked like. Some of you may have heard of Dagon but did not know his appearance. Archaeologists have found some images of Dagon that show him as half fish and half human. That is what we mean when we say there are no mermaids in the Bible. You want to see the word mermaid written there, but it is not. It is like someone who says there is no homosexuality in the Bible because they are looking for the word homosexuality. But the Bible clearly says that it is a sin for a man to sleep with another man as with a woman. So the same word dag that is used for Dagon is also used in the Bible in another place that may surprise you. It is in Jonah 1:17, where it says that God prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah. Jonah didn't always listen to what God told him to do. One day God spoke to Jonah and said, "Jonah, I want you to go to the city of Nineveh. The people there are doing bad things, and I want you to tell them to stop." But Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. He was afraid, so instead of listening to God, he decided to run away. He boarded a ship that was going in the opposite direction of Nineveh. While Jonah was on the ship, a big storm came. The wind blew hard, and the waves crashed against the ship. The sailors were scared and prayed to their gods for help. They threw things off the ship to try to make it lighter, but the storm kept getting worse. The sailors found Jonah sleeping below the deck and woke him up. They asked him to pray to his God for help. Jonah knew the storm was because of him running away from God's command, so he told the sailors to throw him into the sea. Reluctantly, the sailors threw Jonah into the raging sea, and immediately the storm stopped. God sent a big fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah stayed inside the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. When it says that the Lord prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah, the word fish there has the root word dag, which is where we get the root word for Dagon. The root word for Dagon is dag. The root word for fish there is dag. This suggests that the creature that swallowed Jonah wasn't just a normal fish like a whale, but something more sinister. When Jesus talked about Jonah being in the belly of the fish for 3 days and nights, he was pointing to something deeper. He was comparing it to his own experience of being in the grave for 3 days after his crucifixion. It's not only about Jonah being swallowed by a whale. It's more about him being taken by a really evil force. So Jonah was not in the belly of a whale. He was in the belly of a demon. Leviathan grabbed Jonah forcefully, so he had to be thrown up. There was no gentle way to do it. It was pretty rough. This forceful expulsion from the fish's belly is like the power that brought Jesus back to life. The same spirit that helped Jesus rise from the dead lives in believers. So just as this spirit brought Jesus back to life, it also made the fish spit out Jonah. So while inside the fish, Jonah prayed to God and asked for forgiveness. After 3 days, the fish spit Jonah out onto dry land. God spoke to Jonah again and said, "Jonah, I still want you to go to Nineveh and tell the people to stop doing bad things." This time Jonah listened to God. He went to Nineveh and told the people what God had said. Amazingly, the people of Nineveh listened to Jonah and changed their ways. They stopped doing bad things and God was pleased. Jonah learned that running away from God's commands only brings trouble, but listening and obeying brings blessings. And from that day on, Jonah followed God's words faithfully. Even if you feel like your life is trapped in the belly of a great fish right now, remember that God can bring hope and new life, even when everything seems hopeless. Just as Jonah was rescued from the depths of the sea, God has the power to bring you out of any situation and lead you to a brighter future. Trust in His plan, have faith in His promises, and know that His love and mercy are always with you, guiding you through the storms of life.